All right, y'all. As I said on the little reel, the little video that I made, quick comeback. Yes, you heard it right, y'all. We are back in the game. This time around to change it. A little different thing this now. Let's go around. Y'all see me last time in the wrecker. I was in the wrecker driving a tow truck, big crane, big operator, 50-ton wrecker. Well, no longer in that one no more. Y'all know me. I don't stick around places too long, but every time I do something, I'm always doing something better and bigger. Come on. Always doing something bigger and better, y'all. You know me. I don't try to do anything less that don't pay. But I would like to officially welcome you guys back to my channel. Once again, after the third, fourth, however many times I've gone MIA on y'all boys and girls. Yeah, so again, let me get the CV out the way. Get my nerves. Yeah, so I am back in the truck. Well, I've always been in the truck. It's not like I ever got out of the truck, right? But we're doing something different, y'all. Different this time around. Kind of a little bit what I was doing before, dealing with big equipment, big stuff, but y'all about to see what I got going on. I'm actually, this is my first week doing this. Got a lot of exciting stuff happening in my life. Thank God, thank the man upstairs. I recently just had a baby, another one, the second one. It's kind of why I went in my head for a while, because I was dealing with some family stuff. My wife was sick. She basically was diagnosed with heart failure towards the beginning of the year. Then she got pregnant. On top of that, she got pregnant. So yeah, it was a lot to handle, a lot to take in. We're still not out of the woods, but we're living day by day. We're grateful, thankful, and blessed that God has let us make it till now. We have a beautiful baby girl that's growing up and real good, healthy little girl. She wasn't preemie, but she's healthy as can be. Good Lord, she's a crier. But you know what? I couldn't be more blessed. But that's another reason why, as I said, I couldn't want MIA. But I'm officially back. And y'all about to see what I got going on. I went from having my own truck. For those of y'all that haven't watched my channel already, that's still watching my channel, I went from having my own truck to being a company driver. I was on containers. I was with Landstar. I went to haul cattle. I did the wrecker business. Now we'll do something different. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Come on. Y'all wondering why is this set up that way? Why do I have a fourth axle down? Not down. Why do I have a fourth axle? Keep in mind, 1, 2, that's an axle, 4 axle. Why do I have a 4 axle step deck, extendable step deck? A lot of y'all know why these trucks set up that way and what type of stuff we're going to do. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel or new to trucking, these are basically made to haul anything that's oversized, over length, and also overweight. Alright? This is called it's a heavy haul setup, is what it's called. A 4 axle to basically be able to put weight, take more weight, less weight off that steer axle. And you have this trailer here, 4 axle trailer, step deck, extendable, right? To be able to handle more weight. Today, I think we're gonna haul one of them old containers. That's why they got the crane set up. They got the crane set up out there, trying to get it going, get it working. It's funny because I kind of did the same thing, but with a wrecker. So we're gonna get that set up. They're gonna get that set up right now. We're supposed to get a 53-foot container. I think is one of them things back there. It's supposed to be 50,000 pounds going to Afton, Texas, going to Lubbock, Texas. it's about a 7.5, 8 hour ride. But I don't think we're gonna need a permit. We might have over a permit. No, I'm not sure, exactly sure how we're gonna do this or what. But we're finding out here in a little bit. In the meantime, I did do a couple loads with this man already. He happens to be someone I've been knowing for a few years. Actually, me and him I parked my truck in a Betty White the yard, and he was someone that I met at the yard. He's been hauling heavy haul for as long as I met him. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's got all kind of equipment. Any trucks, but he does heavy haul. I've known him for a few years now, and you know, things have changed over the few months to where the record wasn't working for me no more. And as y'all know, I mean, I'm sure y'all know, changed jobs like I changed my underwear, right? Probably changed jobs more than I changed underwear, to be honest. But anyways, so we're back in the saddle. We're back on the road. We're not going on the road like a lot. Like I'm probably gone a few nights out of the week, maybe 1 or 2 nights out of the week, if that. And that's it. Come back home on weekends, home during the week. Can't have it no better than that, right? I mean, granted, it'd be nice to be home every day, especially with a newborn, but can't have it all, right? Sometimes you gotta make some sacrifices, and thankfully my wife is on board with everything. She's well aware of what's going on. Other than that, y'all, we're gonna get this loaded, and then hit the road. So that'll be my official first load of the week with this truck, with this trailer. Last week I helped him out. We actually was riding with him. We did a couple loads. Let me show you what I'm talking about here on the top screen. One of them was excavator from Houston to Dallas, and another one was a boiler heater, a big old vessel heater from Tulsa, Oklahoma down to Hackberry, Louisiana. And both of them were permit loads. Now I had to basically ride with him for a few days to get some experience, to get basically some training, see how I drive, and make sure he knows he wasn't just getting another warm body in the seat, you know what I'm saying? So, but everything checked out good. This is the truck, basically. No, this is not the truck. This is the truck. 2015, Kenworth T100. Nice truck. And heavy all setup. Like I said, this is not the only truck I'm going to be pulling. I actually got to get my triples and doubles endorsement, as I was told. He told me the other day, hey, I need you to get your triples and doubles endorsement. And I know why, but y'all stay tuned for that. You guys need to stay tuned for the reason why I got to get my triples and doubles. If you know, you know. But pretty soon, we'll be pulling different trailers. Right, y'all. We got our first load. 50,000 pounds. I stretched this trailer up a little bit, 5 feet, but still got a good overhang. But we're gonna send it like that. This one's going to Afton, Texas, which is like east of Lubbock. But yeah, that's my first official load for the week. One-way trip, and they head back home. So take this load out today, deliver it tomorrow morning, and come back home. That's right. You gotta think to yourself, deadhead. You know, deadhead all these miles with no weight, no load. But you know what? Sometimes it's better to deadhead home than to get cheap freight coming out. A lot of times coming out of Lubbock, you don't find nothing. Y'all know as much as I do. If you've been trucking long enough, some cities you cannot find freight. It is hard to find freight. We're in Houston, Texas, getting this container full of vessels, about 46 to 50,000 pounds. Ain't nothing coming out of Lubbock on that side of the area of that region. So we're gonna just come back home, head home, be home tomorrow night, get back up on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. It's all about working less and making more, y'all. And just requires a little bit more work to do, more patience, more experience, of course. But how you experience? You gotta get experience to get experience, right? All right. Hey, they got a lot of things in here. Oh, crap. Alright, I need come on, baby. Huh. There we go. Let me get a couple zip ties. right, finished load, finished setup. Went ahead and chained the front, both sides same way. Running 4 chains around. I got this baby here around, a little 1/2-inch chain. Stretched it out. Got a little overhang. That's about. This is a little sketchy, but kind of room is on the tire. Nope, I gotta fix that. Y'all see that? It's on the tire. Alright. Got this one here. Check the inside down. Let's check it out. All of them is good though. This one zip tied to the frame rails. This one's a little sketchier one, to be honest. But fixed it to where it's not rubbing against the tire. If not, we're not gonna make it down the road. I'll put the stanger right here. We're gonna use the finish. Get this container. We're gonna head out. Get about 5 feet of overhang, but they'll make it. So. We're gonna take this down to Lubbock, down the highway, on the byway, up the road, down the street, get it going, get it delivered safely in a timely manner, and then head back to the house tomorrow. So, let's go. Now, time to get this measuring tape. Get the right permits for the right size. We don't want to overdo it, right? So I'm going to measure from bumper to the trailer first. Then from the bumper to the load. Alright, what we got here? Let's check it out. 80 feet, 6 inches. 80 feet, 6 inches. 87. So 86. Alright, y'all. We have a little drawing of the measurement of what so that we get the right permit. Have to measure it right, make sure we get all the measurement correct with the right permit. So quickly move out here a little bit. Get out this way, get out the way, and get on. Got the permit finally. I have to ride. It's a longer ride than usual because it's overhang. It's over. And we stretched out a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and make this trip. It's about a 7-hour ride, but with all permits, it's gonna be a little longer, y'all. So let's get it with it. Let's get it off the road, and we'll do a load check in a little bit. Man, we're finally out of Houston. Woo! We had to ride the Beltway all the way to 290. So for the ones that don't know what the Beltway is or where it's at, it's in Houston, Texas. It's basically a loop. So you got 610, it's a little circle, kind of somewhat a circle. Goes around from, you got I-10 that runs east to west. Then you got 45 goes north to south. 45 goes all the way down to Galveston, goes straight up to Dallas, and then it turns to 75. Then you got 59, which comes down. So 59 is it's also north to south, but what it does is north from, like, I'm going to use the closest one, Lufkin, Nacogdoches, goes south through Houston downtown, then runs southwest, then south through Houston, it goes down to Laredo, I think, yeah. And you got 290. 290 ends in Midtown Houston, runs west all the way to passing Austin. Oh, I guess I think I'm sorry. It goes all the way to Mason. No, not Mason. Or is it Brady? One of them two towns, Brady, Mason, which is like 4 hours west from Houston. It's like an hour west of Austin. 290 runs. Yeah, I know I-10 runs from east to west. Anyways. Then you got 90, the Beltway, which is another circle, bigger circle. So you got 610, you got the Beltway. Beltway, same thing, runs around from like, it basically connects to every single freeway besides 610. So you got 610, the Beltway, you got all the towns, the freeways, whatever. And then you got 99. Well, actually 99, I take it back. There's a spot like Baytown, I'm sorry, Rosenberg, south of Rosenberg, that doesn't connect anymore. I don't know if they're going to work on it. I don't know what's going to happen, but Baytown, I think 99 ends like in Baytown somewhere, 330, spur 330 and 146. And then it doesn't continue. So 99 is very still new, a few years old, but it's a really big circle. That same thing runs all around, you know. We just actually made outside of 99. But anyways, I'm going off a tangent now. Going off a subject. So we had to ride the Beltway feeder all the way from by the airport down to 290, because on the permit it tells you, you know, turn for turn what you gotta take. We are 87 feet long. Well, I'm 87 feet long. He's 92 feet long. So being that you're long, you got a good 6 foot overhang. You have to, you know, when you're oversized, all the tolls in Houston, and I think in every city in America, any tolls oversized or hazmat prohibited. In other words, you're not allowing tolls to go out the feeder. So that's what we had to do. It was a long way, and going through towns is just a headache. So we're fixing to stop here in a little bit. Check our load, check our chain, make sure the load's still back there, which it's still back there, but make sure our chain's still good. You always want to make sure you check your securement within the first 150 miles and 3 hours of driving. Just, you know, believe me, if the chain or the strap, whatever you got, make it 150 miles or like 3 hours, it's gonna make the whole ride. If it doesn't make it the first 100 miles or 150 miles, you're gonna have to keep on securing it. You have to stop because, you know, there's something not right, it's loose, or it's not on their ride. You have to figure out when it comes to hauling open deck. You have to use your common sense, use your knowledge a little bit, use your better judgment, and just, you know, rethink. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? You know. And it's a little different than just shutting doors and putting a seal on and going, you know. And I'm not knocking on that. I'm not knocking on your driver and haulers. I know grinding gears will give me hell for that, like always. But I'm not knocking on driving haulers and reefer and containers, ice haul containers, as y'all know. So believe me, I'm not knocking on y'all. I'm nowhere near that. I'm just saying, when it comes to open deck, which is flatbed, step deck, oversized and whatever, it's different, a different animal. And believe me, hauling cattle is a different animal, different game. I've done that, love this again, a second of it. Only temporary because, you know, I just doing it in Houston. There's no work for that in Houston, and as y'all know, my last video, I had to go back home, and I couldn't really be on the road no more because of my wife and everything else went down. So I had to shut that down. And anyways, I'll explain that to you guys more into the video. Now, keep in mind, this video is gonna be a week worth of stuff. It's not gonna be on a day-to-day basis. I'm gonna put every day whenever I have a load for the week. Every week, I'm gonna make a video. I'm not gonna make one every day. Don't wait on the daily video. I'm not doing that, at least not yet. I will be making a weekly rant video along with shorts throughout the week. I will be making shorts throughout the week, explaining like kind of what I'm doing that day. At least for now, to get it back in get my feet wet, to get back into it. but my weekly videos consist of like my weekly day-to-day job of hauling oversized heavy haul. That's what we're gonna do. Other than that, I just want to talk to y'all a little bit about what's been happening. Like I said, when I went MIA once again after the third, fourth, fifth time, whatever. Yes, I'm no longer in the record business. I actually stopped that 2 weeks ago. It just got into it got in the way of me wanting to go back on my own. It just wasn't working out no more. We got bought out by a corporate company out of Chicago, and it almost basically cleaned house on everything, which is whether we're workers or a lot of things. They clean house to the point where we didn't have a lot of work, and there's a certain thing we were not getting paid on. Like we worked some regs that I haven't got paid on them yet. I'm not there no more. I am gonna get paid on them, but I haven't got paid on them yet. I got 3 regs that I'm owed, and I haven't got a single dollar out of it. So hopefully that goes well, and I get paid for that. I left on a good note. I left. I did give them a notice, not as long as they wanted, but enough notice to where I can go back over there if they were to tell me if I was to go back. I have a chance, but never say never, right? But anyway, so I left that, and I'm still finding this here. I've known the guy for going on a few years now. I've known him for a few years, and we were talking back when I was hauling my own truck and driving Betty White. We parked next to each other, and I've always was amazed on heavy haul and the stuff he does, or any general heavy haul, any period. So it was awesome. Anyways, talking too much. Let's get back to it. We'll pull over, check the load, check my chain out, securement. We'll get back on the road, and I'll talk to you more about it a little bit more. Woo! We have made it to Waco. By time, brother. By time. We're gonna get some fuel. All right. One momento, please. I'm gonna put some fuel, check my chains, get some food, do my 30-minute break. Now we're hauling on ELD now. We're no longer out on it. We're now on ELD. So we gotta make sure we follow along. All right. We'll get fuel. Let's fill the tanks up. We still got about 4 hours left to drive. A little bit. I had enough diesel, but I was like, you know what? I don't want no problems with it. Running out of fuel. Oh my God. Every time we do a load check. Check on my load, check on my chains, check my tires, all good. This one's a little bit loose, but I can put it back, so we're good. We good. Just look at the overhang. Look at that overhang. Almost has banner. Ooh, my bungees. Everything's good. This chain was a little bit loose. Got about a little bit tighter. We're good. 30-minute break is done for. We're gonna hit the road and finish off. Oof. All right. Well, we are doing something I'm not used to. That's for show. We have pulled over for the night, and it's barely 7 o'clock, 7:30 on the nose, and we pulled over for the night already. Guys, I could get used to this. Now I'm running hard, taking my time, running the permit. I think this is sweet. I honestly think this is gonna be a gravy, easy peasy squeezy. Other than that, we put up for the night. We got a few miles to go tomorrow. Should be delivering around 8 tomorrow, and then kick it back home. So Let's see how the load is doing, yeah? And see what's going on. Make sure she made it just fine. All right. It kind of looks like it moved a little bit, didn't it? No, it didn't. All my chains on there. D-rings on there. All my tires are fine. Ooh, that binder is kicking out a little bit. Look how close we are to the tire. I gotta fix that tomorrow when I get up. Still tight, but I gotta fix that. We'll make it, but I don't want to take any chances. So this part, having the other way to chain it down, it's kind of weird because the hole for the lock is back there. There's nothing in the back. There's nothing here. I mean, you can strap it down, but on top, I think. But I've done containers before. Usually the lock right here. I could have run a chain through here, on the back side of the trailer. Some also has banners, still made it. Same over here. Well, this one is weird because for some reason I could not get this this hook right here to go in here. And I think because of the way it was set up, where it was situated. This one here is not as close as it was earlier. Y'all can see how close it is. It's very close. There's a bow hollow over here. I'm gonna keep raining the whole night, trying to make it. So front. So yeah, in this situation like this, it's like, what's the right way of loading or strapping or chaining it down? You can run straps around the container, like a few straps, As y'all notice, I got rub rails, but I don't have any way of running a strap. But I got D-rings right here. And basically what you can do, use a 4-inch ratchet strap and run the hook through there and run the strap up on the other side. But I think chains will do it just fine. Typically you want to run a 3/8 chain around here, right into the other side of a trailer, run it. But seems like it made it. Look at this beauty. You about to go to sea for a couple hours. Look at that. This one here. There you go. This one, so it's weird. For the ones that never in binders, you're thinking to yourself like, it's gonna kick back. No, it's locked. See, check it out. It's locked. You want to put it on the loose position, on the basically the way you're gonna. Right now, if I turn this, it's gonna get loose. If I turn it down, it's gonna get loose. So you want to like bring it up, click this to where it locks. It's not gonna move because I put it on the tight position. All it's gonna do is just swing down. We don't want it to swing down. So right now, if I go this way to the right, all it's gonna do is get this chain loose right here, this whole chain. So again, like I said, it's a little bit more complex when you haul open deck, heavy haul, oversized. But I think for the most part, if you have a good understanding what you're doing, some knowledge, some common sense, and just the will to learn. I guess, there's always a saying that you have to use, if there's a will, there's a way. And I'm not in this will, and I'll find a way, goddammit. Yeah, that smells like cow doo-doo. Yeah, believe it. I love it. I love that smell. For the most part, it's a good load. I'll deliver it tomorrow, and then same one that's on the front. Take it back tomorrow. Pick it back up tomorrow morning. I'm not used to running logs. It's been a while since I run logs, to be honest. I haven't ran logs in a long time. I think it's been over a year since I ran logs. I didn't run logs hunting cattle. I didn't run logs. Definitely didn't run logs running record. It's just been a really different thing. I'm running logs here. Not only am I running logs, but I'm running speed limit. Y'all know I'm not the one to running speed limit. Y'all know that I'm the one that's be running hard, trying to beat the clock, or trying to get there as fast in a hurry. This is a different ball game.
But I think, and I know I can get used to this. It says like easier. I mean, more calm. It's 7 o'clock and some change right now. Yeah, it's late because we have a time change, daylight savings that we did yesterday. But it's calm. Like, I'm not, you know? So I'm not stressed out. I'm not running like crazy. I'm not running hard. Taking my time, deliver the load, come back, and then get another one another day. So anyways, we'll go get some sleep. And later tomorrow. Well, I'll get with you tomorrow. Morning, everybody. Morning. Checking my tires. It's 5:30 in the morning out here. Fixing to hit the road. Got our hours back. Get our hours back in a little bit. Making sure we're checking tires. We're checking leaks. We're checking anything, any air leaks, any coolant leak, any oil leak.
Always make sure that your truck does not have any type of oil leak, any air leak. Even though you last drove it the last time, anything happened overnight. It could definitely leak. It could definitely, have something going wrong in the middle of the night, even though it was off. I turned my truck off last night. Yeah, it's pretty cozy, sleeper. Always check your tires. Can I get a good kick on the back and on the outside? If you have a tire beater, even better. Or you can actually check your air with the tire chuck. Check your securement, check your load. If you're running open deck, if you're running drive-in, don't worry about it. Be alright. Other than that, it's always important to check your truck. Make sure your stuff is always the way you found it when you last saw it. Alright. So always check your gauges too. I'm not sure, only been on for a couple minutes. So one thing you always want to look for is oil pressure is the most important thing for the whole truck. This is the most important gauge from this truck, aside from more. This one here, when you turn the truck on, if it's not where it's supposed to be at, this is an X15, so that's where it's supposed to be at because it's cold start. That's why you see it's cold. If this is not where it's supposed to be at, I mean, when it's lower than 20 at cold start, you got a problem. Low oil or oil pumps going out, something's going out, but you got to figure it out why this is not. Obviously, different motors, different oil pressure. I think when I had my Betty White, I was almost at 80 on the cold start, and then in regular idle, be at 40 or whatever. Next, after that one, you want to check for your coolant temperature. It's water, coolant. This one here, obviously when it's cold, it's gonna be cold, right? It's gonna go up to like 200 when it's driving, maybe more or less 200. You don't want to go past that. This is fine. It's cold start. It won't go up for a while. You won't know until you start driving, put some miles into it with some speed and weight. But the way you can find that out is in the motor, you have a coolant reservoir. A lot of times if the truck's low on coolant, it'll indicate here on this light. It'll tell you low coolant, shut off immediately, or they'll even shut off all for you. So you always want to make sure that you have enough coolant. I'll give you guys a run around on how to get it done. We got to go already, but next video, I'll show you guys what like a proper, decent pre-trip. I'm not saying I'm the massive pre-trip, but I'll give you a proper pre-trip. If you are looking to get a CDL and get into trucking, there's a lot of things to look for. So this is one of them. These are two things. Same thing with the battery voltage. This indicates that your batteries are good. Any alternator is indicating is charging the batteries. So that's about 14.8, 14.7. That's typically how much voltage you want on your batteries, on your battery gauge. This is fuel filter, so it's for your filter. This is good. You don't want this to be higher than 5 or 10 when you're driving or even idle. That means your filter is full and it's basically means you're due for a PM, or if you have done a PM, you gotta do a fuel filter. This right here
These also very important. These two gauges, primary and secondary gauge, air tank, air gauge. This is what feeds. This is how much your truck and trailer basically how much air they have inside the tank. That's normal where it's supposed to be at. You want to make sure that there's no leaks, and with the way you do that, same thing. When you do your pre-trip, you go around, walk around the truck, and you check for any air leaks. You hear for any air leak, listen for any air leaks. You hear anything, you typically have an air leak somewhere. A lot of times you can't really tell until you press these two knobs, the trailer brake and the parking brake for the truck. Once I start releasing these two, the one or two, you'll hear a leak on the back. Sometimes you hear it coming out of here. It's weird, it's very weird. You hear it coming out of here thinking, are my knobs leaking? No, they're not leaking. It's letting you know you have a leak somewhere in the truck or trailer, which is pretty cool. Because right here, you can almost tell that you have an air leak somewhere just by pressing these two. It just come out. It won't come out of here, but it'll sound from here. So that's one. Like I said, you could do a brake test if you want and check to make sure you have any air leaks. I mean, typically you want to do that. Just run your cycle. Don't mind the light ABS. We're gonna talk about that here in a little bit. You want to run your cycle for these two, so that way you should make sure there's no air leaks. And I believe the indicator light starts coming on at 60, and then the knobs, these two, starts popping at 30. You don't want that when you're driving, believe me, you don't. But anywho, this is fuel, obviously. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what this means. You know, it means you almost have a full tank. Don't want to get to the past the border. Make sure that you always have full tank, no matter what. You never know where you're gonna end up at. Make sure that you guys always fill up. If you go somewhere where you don't know where you're going, make sure you get full tank. You don't know what you're gonna end up at or how long you're gonna sit there. Because sometimes you might sit and shipper or receiver for a whole day. That's why a lot of drivers talk about detention time and waiting time. That's what we're talking about. When it's detention time, waiting time, we're talking about waiting at a shipper or receiver for hours on out, sometimes even days. Now, it's not always like that. Don't get scared of what I'm saying, right? But it also goes back on your time. If you're late at an appointment, especially Walmart. I've never done Walmart. I never done redriving. You know, Grinding Gears have done Walmart. He's done a bunch of these companies, and he knows a thing or two about detention time and waiting hours on out of the dock. I've waited for something like this to be unloaded at a crane appointment at a job site for 8 hours. So it's about the same thing. You just don't have nowhere to go. You can't move nowhere. You're getting stuck. So, anyways, this one here, brake tractor. Tractor when you apply the brakes, basically it's gonna apply pressure to the brakes and how much pressure you have on your bags when you apply the brakes. If you have the weight coming down, that's also important. But you know, that's not as important as anything else. Suspension load, this is let you know how much weight is on the bags on your truck at all time. It's 50 psi, 60 psi. It's not bad. Obviously, don't want it to be way too high because it means you overload it. But this is about not bad at all, actually. That's for a pusher axle. That's just nothing to do with. A lot of trucks don't have it. It's because I have a fourth axle, and I'll show you guys which one I'm talking about. This one here. So when I set it down, you're gonna go down the ground and just take off weight off the steer tire, and it's gonna basically give me less weight on my tractor, which you will see this one go down. But we're good here. We don't need to push it down. That's for DF. Nope. If you know, you know. It's full, but it's yeah. Anyways, so let's hit the road. I think my hours are getting back ready. We're gonna do our little deal on the ELD, and then that's it. I'll see y'all guys at the receiver. Come on back. We officially made it. Official, y'all. Been a long ride. Okay. Yeah, check. I'm gonna give me a paper cut. We've checked in. We're ready to go. We gotta wait. I got the driver in front of me. That's going to be loading first. And I'm next, so I've got to wait over here. He's over here getting unloaded. He's getting in now. I see him going in. Just went ahead and took my stuff off. Minus the chains. Never want to take the chains off until you're actually about to get unloaded. You just never know, especially in a job site like this. It's very rough road and everything, and you want to make sure this don't fall off. So we got my BOL. So once we get him unloaded, I'm gonna get in and get offloaded, and then I'm gonna need to close my app. Basically, I gotta pull this pin right to release the brake chamber. Let me show y'all. You pull that valve, the brake chamber releases that pin, comes out the hole. You can stretch it or close it back however you want. And then the way you want it, that pin that's right here, basically it goes into that hole. So by the time you close that gap, you should have the pin that's gonna be right here. It might be off a little bit. You have to move the trailer a little bit, but it'll close that gap from this to that, and then it'll basically put the pin. Sometimes you may have to like hit it with your hand or with your foot. I do my foot, and then put the pins back in. And it's on both sides. You got one on this side, one on the opposite side, and that's basically what you gotta do. So that's where we're gonna unload. That crane operators right here. They got set up everything. I didn't know this, but we could have stepped on site, to be honest. But I don't think it would have mattered because they weren't ready for us anyways. When we showed up, they were still, the crane set up. So if you ever do open deck, even if you do drive-in, because honestly, let me show y'all. There's a couple of drive-ins here. I think there's one drive-in out here that's been waiting all morning. Right there. Let's see. Yep. So always make sure. Again, this is for you guys that are new to trucking, that are new to getting on the road and doing this, like a lot of us are. If you're going to a place you've never been to before, I suggest you call ahead of time. Don't assume, never assume that you got, that you're gonna make it and there's nothing around, or it'd be no problem. It's always gonna be something, right? Unless it's a warehouse, like a dock, like a big warehouse in a big town, a big city. You always wanna make sure that you call your customer, especially for something like this, a job site in the middle of nowhere. You want to call your customer, your point of contact. A lot of times it's going to be on your BOL. If you don't have one, call your broker and find out, hey, what's the point of contact here where I can find out. Because I want to make sure that I'm going to the right spot. Because places like this, in the middle of nowhere, away from a lot of big cities, a lot of even small towns, you don't want to run all your hours in and you come to a place where there's nowhere to park. Luckily, there was a place to park here, right? I could have called the customer last night and said, hey, is there a place to park on site? I try to do that a lot of times, try to park on site. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. In this situation, we were able to park on site, but we didn't know because we didn't call our customer. Always make sure that you call your point of contact. There's always got to be someone that you can call, whether it's a broker and get a customer's information, but there's always someone you can call. In this situation here, we could have called and we could have got parked on site. He's outside the gate waiting for them to finish up, but it doesn't matter, it's fine because they were not ready for anything anyways. We would have still been waiting here. Plus, another problem is you don't have really a whole lot of amenities. When I'm saying amenities, I'm saying like restrooms, food. So it just depends on how you have your truck set up. If you have a truck set up to where you can have food, microwave, fridge, and whatnot, that you don't have to worry about food or a bathroom, then I would suggest, you can park on site and don't have to worry about it. There is a Porta John way over there. Y'all see it? But it's 2 o'clock in the morning. If you gotta use a restroom, it's not really your house. It's not really something you're used to. Especially these brushes right here. You got a bunch of like rattlesnakes roaming around. I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't feel comfortable using a restroom right there. I used it earlier, but that was during the day. It's different. Anywho, we're fixing to get unloaded. We're gonna wait for him to get unloaded, and then we're gonna hit the road. That'll be it for this video today. After I'm gonna run some content of the crane, basically this crane back behind me. Where is it at? Right there. Where I can see it right here. crane behind me gets unloaded. We're gonna head home. We should be home tonight. So once I'm done with that, I'll be the end of my video. That'll be my first video back into a truck and officially back, y'all. So I know a lot of y'all have been asking about me from grinding gears to grinding gears and see where I've been at, but I'm back. I've been around, just, you know, been dealing with a lot of stuff. Like I said, we were doing the record for a while. We're hauling cattle. Of course, I ended that one. We ran cattle for my ex-buddy of mine at the time, and my wife got diagnosed with heart failure, and she ended up being pregnant on top of that. So that kind of like I had to stop what I was doing. I had to basically find a job to go home, be home every day. I didn't want to get back in the record business. I told myself I'm not getting back into it, but it just happened. That job at the time happened to be there at the right time when I needed it the most. So that's what I did that. I knew I was going to be in there. I wasn't going to be in there forever. I knew that. I just needed something to be able, one, to provide for my family, two, to be able to be home every day for my family, you know. So for a while I went MIA on YouTube, only because I was going through a lot, and we're still kind of going through quite a bit. But we're back, y'all. We're back on the road. We're back to doing what we love doing. And y'all will get more content, more of this truck. Not specific to this load. This is not something we do all the time. Our load consists of different things: oversized, heavy haul. That's what we do here. That's what I do. Y'all know me. I'm not the lazy kind. I'm not the one to just, you know, not do work. I like to get my hands on my load, whether it's chaining, tarping, securing, strapping. I mean, anything I can put my hands on to secure my load my way, or any way possible that I can learn from, because there's always something you can learn brand new every day, right? I'll get it done. So anyways, y'all check my channel out. My past videos you haven't seen already. I have some content on there already from past videos. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what I can fix. Again, thank y'all for sharing. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank you for the love, support. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Like I said, we're gonna get unloaded, and that'll be the end of my video. So let's get unloaded. Come on. All right, we dropped our load. They want us to move these 2 trailers for them in the yard. It was already requested before we even got loaded yesterday. So they want us to move these trailers in the yard or in the camp, wherever we're at. Y'all can see we're in the middle of nowhere, brother. We're gonna get that taken to where they're gonna go, and then that's about it. That's about all you have to do. I gotta be a driver and hauler for like 5 minutes.